Regional. Jenny Ritter, Roy Philpott, the #2 national seed OU Sooners, defending national champions, getting set for first pitch against Cleveland State. The Vikings out of the Horizon League, champions of that conference, as we take a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by Capital One. Albaugh, DA, Holzapfel will lead things off for head coach Amy Kyler in year number 6. And Jenny, obviously it's imperative they get off to a good start to have a chance tonight.
Yeah, and I think Brooke Albaugh is going to be that one. Again, when you've got a team that's got jitters, you're on the biggest stage, you're facing Oklahoma. Brooke Albaugh, who's the baller, who's that one that is at the top of your lineup that kind of will run through the fence for you. She's the one that kind of has to take those jitters for you. Let her be the one that kind of steps into the fire for you and kind of relaxes you a little bit. That's going to be her job today, to kind of set the tone for you at the top.
Nicole May, the senior right-hander from Cali, gets the start in the circle. First team all Big 12 last year. She brings a lot to the table in 2024 as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Senior leader here in the circle. Somebody that can get the job done for you if you're OU. Finds a way to get it done and has a lot of spin and movement in her game.
Jenny, my first trip to Norman for softball. Obviously our first game together for OU, the defending national champions in this venue. It is electric at Loves Field, and the first pitch stays high for ball one.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to compare this is absolutely World Series feel. It's loud. Electric is absolutely the word to use on it. And it's a home crowd, no doubt about it.
Albaugh, the junior from Ohio, first team all conference. Starting in center field again today. Cleveland State talks about trusting the process this season. She'll fight that one off above the netting and out of play. It's 1-2. It's a fun team. We got to know them yesterday, and head coach Amy Kyler. Great personalities. They are happy to be here. They want to make some noise while they are here in Norman. Swatted to left field, tracking and catching. Cassidy Pickering for out number 1. You're number 6 in the Horizon League for Amy Kyler with Cleveland State, the Vikings. Spent the previous 11 campaigns as the head coach at Notre Dame in Ohio, leading that program to nearly 300 wins. They transition from NAIA to Division II. And the Vikings in the postseason now, the biggest of levels for the first time since '09, Jenny.
And I think that's a good start here for Albaugh to put a ball in play, get it going. Diang there offering, swinging partway through on a rise ball. Second there too, getting behind on the count. And that's one thing that this team, this Cleveland State team, has to be careful of. They're very aggressive. #1 team in the country on swinging. They swing on over half their pitches.
And we see it there, the first strikeout for May. She boasts a record in her career of 60-5 with an ERA of a minuscule 1.69, Jenny.
Yeah, mid to upper 60s. She's got a rise ball and a drop ball. Also a really great screwball. Her changeup is very good too, and it's good because it mimics that drop ball movement. It's got the same spin. It drops in the zone, so it looks almost identical with a different speed. When you have a pitch that looks almost the same, but it spins different, excuse me, the speed is different, all of a sudden a batter can't pick it up as well, and it becomes that much more effective.
Missy Holzapfel is the hitter. Also the starting pitcher tonight for Cleveland State. Certainly the biggest crowd that they have played in front of this season, and they've been all over the country to make it to this point in the postseason. They working quickly. This off the glove of second baseman Hodge into right field. And a 2-out knock for Holzapfel, and the inning continues for Cleveland State.
And Josafo, you see the energy that she brought. She's also the pitcher of this game, so this is a great way for her to really feel some energy and some confidence as she starts. She sends this pitch opposite side of the field. Avery Hodge does a good job really trying to get a glove on this ball. But really look for Cleveland State just to make contact. Put the ball in play.
Here's Becky Horowski. May high and tight for ball one. 11 pitches in, 2 outs and a runner at first. Oklahoma, the Big 12 champions, defeating Texas in the title game and avenging a series loss against the Longhorns in the regular season. It was Texas that claimed the #1 overall national seed, OU at #2. And amazing to think that Oklahoma could still have something to prove after all of these championships, but here we are. Rise ball out of the zone. It's 2-1.
Yeah, if you see Horowski swinging at the pitch before, why not go at it again? Especially if you get a team that chases well.
Hall of Fame head coach Patty Gasso. Search of another national championship just on the plate. That'll even the count. Jill Poole calling balls and strikes. Crowd comes to life. And Horowski stays alive. Well, the energy, you can feel it. It is intense already, and we are just getting started this weekend in Norman. Crowd will tell you the story here. 2 strikeouts for Nicole May, and we are underway in Norman, Oklahoma.
And Nicole May gets the changeup going on Horowski, low in the zone, pulls the string on it, and gets the K for out number 3.
Here at Loves Field, game 2 of the Norman Regional. Oklahoma coming up to bat for the first time. Vikings of Cleveland State. The base hit that was stranded in the top half of this inning. We'll take a look at our starting lineups for the Sooners, presented by Capital One. The freshman phenom Ella Parker grabbed your attention as the Big 12 tournament MVP, and she can do a whole heck of a lot for head coach Patty Gasso.
If she goes 7 for 10, if she's not grabbing your attention in the Big 12 tournament, she better be. She was that good, but she just, I mean, her approach at the plate to me was my favorite part when we talked to her. It was just about keeping it simple. And her comment to us, play with nothing to lose and everything to gain, and that's really what has allowed her to earn a spot in this lineup of just tremendous hitters, and just as a freshman.
Missy Josafo gets the start in the circle. First team All-Horizon League for Cleveland State.
A great pitcher in the circle, has really been part of the reason Cleveland State has earned their spot here in the postseason. She'll give you good energy. Somebody that her defense can really back her. Just that 1.77 ERA, 195 Ks.
Vikings defeated Northern Kentucky in the Horizon League Championship, finished in 3rd place in the regular season. Jada Coleman has the count at 1-1. It'll be Coleman, Parker, and Jennings lead things off for the Sooners. This talented senior class, 10 members strong, one of the all-time greats, the history of the sport, and a chance to go out with 4 straight national championships with a long run this season. Coleman's numbers speak for themselves, and of course the consistency grabs your attention. A leadoff walk, and Coleman is aboard.
And this is going to be the battle for Josafo. When you have a lineup 1 through 9 of solid hitters, you've got to be really careful not to throw it too far over the zone. 63 to 66 miles an hour. She's going to throw that curve in horizon. She is effectively wild, which makes her good, but she issues a lot of free passes. She's got to be a little careful about that, especially with good hitters. That can make her good if she can throw around the plate, get them to chase. But this Oklahoma team is very patient. They do not expand the strike zone. They look for the pitch they want to hit. They don't get cheated. And that's going to be one of the hardest parts about her being effectively wild, is that she's got to bring something close enough to the zone to get them to hit. Or at least chase it.
Patty Gasso out of the dugout, or rather down the line from third base, to talk with home plate umpire Jill Poole for a moment. 7 pitches in, the count at a ball and a strike, with Coleman at first. Just underway in Norman for game 2. The winner of this one will get Oregon tomorrow at 3 Eastern, 2 Central, back at Loves Field. Talking with Ella Parker yesterday, it honestly was stunning just how mature she is. Wise beyond her years as a first-year player. And coming in from Los Angeles, she said, yeah, it's a different scene in Norman, but she loves the college town atmosphere and has fit in quite well with this program, trying to win another national championship.
And she certainly didn't speak like a freshman. And you hear her talk, and just the simplicity at which she communicated with us, and you can see where she is in freshman of the year, just on that list that's been narrowed down. And I think that's how you get there. You don't act like a freshman.
And it's not an act, right? I mean,
no.
It's authentic.
100%.
Full count, hammered to first, and stepping on the bag quickly was Becky Horosky for the first out. Advancing to second is Coleman. Well, she thought about trying to turn 2 and then thought much better of it, and that was a great decision.
Yeah, you don't want to, when you're trying to just get outs in a lot of cases, you don't want to be too aggressive and get yourself in a situation where you are so aggressive that you take a risk that puts 2 on instead of getting an out. A smart decision there to take a look and realize that it wasn't worth taking the risk, and you go for the out instead.
Tiare Jennings, now a senior from San Pedro, California. An incredible career. You see the numbers this season. 2 balls and a strike. What are the nerves like, in your opinion, for Cleveland State in this kind of environment, having won the Horizon League the way in which they did, maybe not as the favorites in that conference? It's a lot to take in inning number 1.
It is, but at the same point, I think that if you're realistic about where you're at and the expectations of this, you have nothing to lose, like nothing to lose. And I think sometimes in that case, at that point, sometimes you play a little bit looser because of that.
Gorsuch, the catcher for Cleveland State, banged up after that swing. And Kylie Gorsuch, a freshman, North Canton, Ohio.
Looks like it might have gone right off her hand or her wrist.
And the reaction was immediate.
Yeah. And Gorsuch, somebody that Missy Hilzoffel talked with us a little bit about in terms of the importance of her. Ooh, foul ball right off her hand. You could see it right there. You can see her hand almost freezing up too. Not hidden behind her leg. And sometimes catchers kind of get in that habit of not hiding it behind their, tucking it behind their calf or behind their leg. Gorsuch, somebody really important to Hilzoffel.
Yeah, Missy knew her from high school. They're very vocal when they're out there together.
Talked about how grateful she was to have such a great catcher. Even though just a freshman, somebody that she knew was really going to take care of her and kind of own it behind the plate. So somebody very important to have as a leader for Hilzoffel in the circle.
Jennings climbs back in, and the 2-2 swung on and missed, and the first strikeout for Missy Hilzoffel. And more importantly, a very big second out here in the bottom of the first inning.
The movement on this pitch, this is what's going to make Hazaffel good. It moves well onto the corner and away. It is hard to get Jennings. She does it here. And a huge strikeout with a runner in scoring position. You can scatter Ks here and there against a good OU team. And keep yourself in this game. Really battle well.
421 batting average, paces OU. Kenzie Hansen takes outside. And for Cleveland State, you just have to think you would love to get to that second inning unscathed with this Oklahoma offense. 2-1. With the sun blaring right down upon home plate, the shadows creeping across the infield, even attaching to us here in the broadcast booth. Could be a factor. Hit sharply to first. Horowski up to the challenge for the second time in this inning. OU strands a base runner. We are scoreless. One inning in the books in Norman. And welcome those that just watched and witnessed Virginia Tech's 5-1 victory against San Diego State. Welcome to Norman. Game 2 of the Norman Regional. Jenny Ritter, Roy Philpott. Winner of this game tonight between defending national champion Oklahoma and upstart Cleveland State will get Oregon tomorrow. Right back here at 3 Eastern, 2 Central. Sun splashing down. Temperatures the upper 70s. Barely a cloud in the sky. No threat of rain. And Cleveland State trying to be the hang-around team early. Emma Gilkerson just flied out to right field in deep fashion, we may add. And Peyton Mueller-Stentz, the hitter. Slight breeze out of the southeast. You could not dial it up any better for mid-May in OU. And that one sneaks through the left side. And a base hit for Mueller-Stentz, the second of the game for Cleveland State.
Oh yeah, if you're Cleveland State, you're feeling good right now. 2 hits in this game, both to Cleveland State. A turn on this pitch to Peyton Mueller-Stentz as she just turns, hits it in the 5-6 hole. Finds her way on. You can see the celebration in the dugout. Mueller-Stentz just excited to get on. Cleveland State playing with nothing to lose. He's found a way to connect with some pitches. Like you said, Gilkerson's fly to right, deep. Riley Boone tracks it down, but they're getting some bats on the ball.
Big cut. Mueller-Stentz retreats back to the bag. She is the resident cheesehead in the Cleveland State locker room. From Wisconsin, Port Washington, Wisconsin. One of the hardest workers on this team. Head coach Amy Kyler. Squaring to bunt is Spellman. And quickly it's 0-2.
And the answer back from May is something that she did well. The last hit, Hazaffel in the first inning got a hit. Struck out Horowski her next at bat. Getting ahead against Spellman here after giving up a hit to Mueller-Stentz. I think that's, to me, the mark of a good pitcher is one that can really find a way to be resilient, bounce back, scatter hits because you can get outs after it.
Spellman taps it weakly foul.
And the best way to do that is to get ahead on the next batter. So far, May has done that both times.
Jenny, we've joked about my affinity for the weather and talking about the wind tonight or today. It's the sunshine, and it is coming right down upon us. We're having to shade our line of sight to make sure we can see properly. For a hitter, especially for a left-handed hitter, that could be a factor until sunset in about an hour. Up the middle, how about that stab over to first? Not in time for the double play. Tiare Jennings, an incredible stop. What appeared to be a knock into center field. Instead, it goes down as an out in the second out here in the second inning.
I mean, the range, this ground ball looked like it was about to get through, but no, Tiare Jennings gets a glove on it, makes the toss, and how close is this double play? Almost double play, I should say. Instead, just a single out, second out of the game.
Off speed and inside to Kylie Gorsuch, who appeared to be banged up after taking a foul ball off her hand just a few minutes ago. Sophie Spellman now at first base, 1-1. Freshman, North Canton, Ohio. Member of the All-Horizon League tournament team for her performance. 30 pitches in for Nicole May. Cut on and miss. And another strikeout for May, her third so far.
A good mix of pitches and off speed ahead of this pitch that is just a swing through from Kylie Gorsuch. Goes up in the zone on a rise ball. A swing through for another strikeout and an out number 3.
Softball regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Dodge. Domestic, not domesticated.
Scenes from OU's national championship runs in each of the last 3 years, dating back to 2021. Can they make it 4 straight? Look at some of the overall numbers. 7 national championships overall for this tradition-rich program. And Patty Gasso now, it's hard to believe, the Hall of Fame head coach, has been here 30 years. And a chance to continue to rewrite the history books, Jenny.
Yeah, I mean, you think about how hard that is. I think there's like a championship hangover to me every time you win. The expectation of having to win again, the expectation of feeling like you got to do it the same way.
Alyssa Brito puts a charge in that one. Deep in the corner in right field and tracked down by Frascone. Kiera Frascone shielding her eyes from that sunshine we just referenced and made a nice play on the move. There's a good look at what you'll be seeing. It's a left-handed hitter staring into the sunlight. Shadows starting to creep across the playing surface here at Loves Field. And the sun due to set in about 55 minutes from now. Probably a lot to process in just thinking about all that, but Cassidy Pickering, the freshman from Humble, Texas.
Good strike there on the corner. Take a look at Gorsuch's hand, now having her hand taped from that foul ball that struck it off Tiare Jennings last at bat. Good that she's still in though. That hit her hard.
It was an awkward carom right off of her hand. 2-2. Pickering getting the start in left field, 375 this season. Member of the All Big 12 freshman team. Plenty of pop in the bat with those 7 home runs. Outside, full count. We mentioned the nerves potentially for Cleveland State. What about for a veteran team like Oklahoma? Not necessarily for just one game, but maybe to start this postseason run. How about a home run? Pickering, number 8. And OU's on the scoreboard.
Well, that might take the nerves away. Pickering puts him on the board. And Brito had a good hard hit her at bat. It almost felt like they were barreling it off on this inning a little bit more. But Pickering gets all of that pitch. Remember, this is an OU team that does not get cheated too much, just really looking to find their pitches, showing some patience. Pickering finds that one.
Lena Torres climbs in the first pitch on the outside corner for strike one. Think about what Patty Gasso told us yesterday. Despite all that's happened this year, when you look at their overall record, 49-6 after losing just one game a season ago, she said, we're playing our best softball right now, and that's what matters the most.
Yeah. She talked about a lot of moments of reset, and you have to realize, you know, I mentioned it, like championship hangovers, to me, they exist. The expectation, she used the word expectation a lot. I call it an E word. It could be a 4-letter word. Like, expectations are real, and there are a lot of expectations that surround this Oklahoma team. They've had 6 losses. And you hear people talking, for as many people that support Oklahoma as you see, a big K there, by the way. Good bounce back from Hazafa in the circle, but 6 losses that you hear people talk about, oh, this isn't OU's year. Well, it's 6 losses. It's just 6. They're still very, very good. But at the same token, like, there are distractions all around them, and that can be difficult, and yet they're still finding a way to win ball games. They don't lose twice in a row. They don't lose to the same team twice. Those are things that you do have to pay attention to, because, by the way, to win a national championship, you have to beat OU if they make it to the championship twice in a series of 3. Whoever wins the national championship has to win a game in a series of 3. So those distractions do matter. And so an Oklahoma team like this, when you have that many distractions, you really have to find a way to keep those at bay and really stay focused. So while I do think this is an OU team that maybe has a chance, nice catch.
Stabbing grab made by the shortstop, Dieng.
Has a chance to go and compete for the national championship. They also have a chance to get beat as well.
Cassidy Pickering leaves the ballpark. OU strikes first. In search of its 4th national championship in a row. The Sooners are off and running here at home. In Norman, Oklahoma, and of course the Sooners have won each of the last 3 championships. Go back to 2016 and 17. Florida State, UCLA, and the Gators are part of that exclusive club who have won national titles going back to 2014. Jenny Ritter, Roy Philpott here at Love's Field. Cleveland State trailing for the first time, 1-0. Top of the 3rd inning, Nicole May remains in the circle for the Sooners. Capacity crowd back here to watch their team go about its championship business on the outer edge. 0-2. The winner of this one gets Oregon tomorrow. And May, when she has got the count 0-2, she has been outstanding, retiring all 5 batters previous to this one.
And again, that's what a pitcher should do, right? And when you are a veteran pitcher, that is your goal. Get ahead of a batter, and then you can throw your pitch and really work to get batters out. Get them to chase on your pitch. Get them on a good moving pitch. That's what May's been successful at so far.
Kiara Frascone did not offer. 1-2. Biggest surprise that you've seen so far today around the country?
Oh, gosh. Maybe the Clemson loss.
To Southeastern?
Southeastern Louisiana, yep.
4th strikeout for May. Back to the top of the order.
Make that retiring all 6 batters. When you get 2 strikes on him for Nicole May, you see how that pitch moves outside and low. Gets Frascone to chase. And again, when you're ahead in the count, that's what you can throw. You can throw something off the plate with movement and really work to get a batter to chase. This is a Cleveland State team where their chase numbers are high. 64th in the field. When you look at those stats and know that this is a Team that swings a lot at the first pitch. You should know as a pitcher that you can just go and attack the zone on a good moving pitch.
Albaugh fights off that one, but pops out to Avery Hodge at second. Now, Jenna Dieng made an incredible play at shortstop moments ago. A ball that was tailing down and away from her. She comes up to bat to try to extend the inning. Struck out her first time up in the first. All-conference performer in her career. 6 seniors with this Cleveland State team. We asked Amy Kyler, what's the approach in a game like this, in an atmosphere like this? She said, we got to take deep breaths a lot in between swings, in between pitches. Trust the process, use our passion, our poise, and make sure that we give our chance, give ourselves the best opportunity and chance to wreak some havoc on the road. 1-2.
I always think, though, in the game of softball, it's always the same, no matter who you are and what you do. It's about focusing on yourself. Play your game. Play what got you here. And so often people focus on who you play instead of what got you there. And when you start focusing on the other team and who they are and what they do and how good they are or how good they aren't, sometimes that gets you playing at a different level. Just focus on who you are.
Dieng stays alive. Well, the Taj Mahal of softball facilities right here in Norman. It does not get any better than this. In the first 1-2-3 inning for Nicole May, her 5th strikeout.
Get him ahead and get him to chase. This is what Nicole May is doing up in the zone, going with that rise. Getting the OU batters back on offense next.
Well, easy to talk about the 3 national championships in a row, but you have to remember this senior class, the winningest class in D1 history. 10 seniors comprising this incredible roster in 2024. You go back to the 71-game winning streak, 3 national titles, and a chance to make it 4 this campaign. And there are some heroes kind of behind the scenes that probably don't get the amount of publicity that they deserve. And we asked Patty Gasso literally who would be that one player maybe that falls into that category. And she mentioned the lady that leads off this inning, Riley Boone, the young woman. It's the juice that gets this team going, she told us. And that was Coach Gasso indicating that numeral 0 means so much to this team in so many different ways, Jenny.
Yeah, she's just one of those kind of bright spots in the bottom of that lineup that brings a lot of energy there.
She can bunt and do a variety of different things. Called out here on the quick toss from Holzapfel. What a play.
And think about the energy that would have fired her team up if she were safe there. This is what she can do, just quick bunt. And a quick play from Holzapfel. How quick of a play did Holzapfel have to do here? She picks up the ball, makes a quick throw. Good PFP pitcher's fielding practice there. You have to know when you have quick lefty slappers, bunters, to make those quick throws.
Off speed and upstairs to Jada Coleman. 2-0. Second time through the order for Missy Holzapfel. Coleman reached on a walk in her first plate appearance to lead this game off for the Sooners. And works a 3-0 count here. '23 Big 12 Player of the Year. 3-1. She was the Gatorade National Softball Player of the Year back in 2020. Claimed those same honors coming out of Texas. Great grab a young Sooner fan. Wearing the number 24. Coleman draws a one-out walk.
And that celebration from the walk, kind of traditional of what OU does. Celebrate a walk as much as they celebrate a hit. And it's those little celebrations. Patty Gasso says they do that in practice too. So important to take everything as a challenge.
I do believe that was Cedric Coleman up there. They grabbed that ball. One and one the count to Ella Parker. Special moment. Incredible career for Jada. Keep it simple. That's what Ella Parker said will be her approach this weekend. She used it in the Big 12 tournament, hit 700, and was the MVP. And she was ready for every question that we had. In a very calm way. On the outside corner, runs the count full.
And to me, that's one of the more impressive things about her was just as a freshman, when you can put up numbers like this.
Hammered, deep left field. And caught. Gilkerson had just enough real estate. Boy, off the bat, it sounded loud.
It absolutely sounded a little bit different. Every time Ella Parker hits it, it sounds just a little bit different.
Second out of the inning. And here's Jennings. Miss Eels-Awful has not backed down from these Oklahoma hitters. Jennings struck out her first time up.
I give her a lot of credit, even if it's a deep fly ball. If it's caught, it's an out.
May have been the loudest out recorded here in the last month, but it was an out.
I think that's something, you know, between the ears as a pitcher, you have to think about. It doesn't matter if it's a screaming line drive. If your shortstop makes a Sports Center top 10 diving catch every single play, if an out is an out is an out is an out. And if you can get out of the game and keep it close and let your hitters hit and stay in the game and find a way to potentially win it, that's all you need to do. Like, you don't have to be fancy. You don't have to throw a no-hitter. You don't have to have 18 strikeouts.
Was that your approach at Michigan?
I mean, pridefully, I wanted 18 strikeouts.
So it's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but it was a learning curve. As a freshman, I had to remind myself that you have a defense and you have a job to do, and it's about doing your job.
Gorsuch tried to frame that pitch on the outer edge. Did not get the call. 3-2.
I do think in this situation, when you're a team that, you know, you're a mid-major team that's playing a three-time national champion, you do what you can.
Up the middle, a base hit. Sliding in at third is Coleman. Taking second on the throw is Jennings. And the Sooners are back in business with 2 outs.
This was a good solid liner right back up the middle. On the outside corner, Jennings really just drives it, sees it, takes her shot. And Coleman does a really good job seeing where the ball is, takes that extra base.
Big moment early. Kinsey Hansen takes up and away. Grounded out to first in the first inning to close down that frame. Adding cleanup again for head coach Patty Gasso.
We talked about senior leadership, 10 seniors here on this OU team, and right here in the heart of this lineup, Jennings, Brito, Hansen, Jennings, Hansen, Brito, all seniors, all an opportunity for a couple base hit knocks to put some of these runs in. That's the kind of leadership you want from your seniors.
And that's the kind of explosiveness that OU's offense brings to the table early and often. 242 runs scored this year in the first 3 frames, and a 2-out walk will load the bases. Now the Sooners this year walking nearly 16.5% of their total plate appearances. That is the 2nd highest number in school history. And you mentioned the great eye at the plate. It is up and down this roster, and here is Brito. The Oregon transfer. 0-1. Jada Coleman at third, Jennings at second, Hanson at first. And Holzapfel a strike away from getting out of a massive jam.
And Brito hit a deep fly ball to right field. Her last at bat, barreled it up well. Such a good eye there. That ball not missing off the plate that much, but just such discipline to lay off.
Now Brito's average going back to her time at Oregon. Pillar of consistency. It has risen each and every year. Originally at 299, then 368. 412, and now this season coming in at 416 to this Norman Regional. Still 1-2.
Holzapfel staying on the outside corner against Brito. Again, Brito's not trying to turn on it, just sending it to the opposite side of the field where it's thrown.
Sooners trying to bust this game wide open. Brito living that outside pitch, trying to send it the other way. What's the strategy here if you're a Holzapfel? Do you try to get her maybe to take one a little further out?
Yeah, try to get her to chase. You kind of get her in that rhythm to foul it off, get her to chase something further out and get a ground out, get a fly out. She brings it in. Also a good strategy. You bring it in a little bit, get her focused on that outside pitch and try to get it in on her hands, handcuff her.
4 straight 2-strike pitches Brito has fouled off. And a great battle underway between these two. Make it 5.
Holzapfel does not throw a ton of changeups. We've seen a couple in the game. From a strike perspective, does not often throw it as a strike.
Cut on and miss, strikeout number 3, and Holzapfel has something to say.
Gets her there on it. Talk about a big-time pitch from a big-time player right there. Pulls the string on it when you need it. Brito not thinking about it, gets her there. Bases juiced, gets out of the inning. A big-time player and a big-time out.
Odyssey Alexander, Jesse Warren playing like an MVP. And oh my goodness! And makes the play! Called strike 3. Oh, that's a laser double play!
Aubrey Leach laying down the bunt. Not gonna get her. Dangerous hitter here.
Grand slam!
The best players in the world.
First pitch to Brito swinging, and she does it again!
At Grainger, we know the ones who get it done wear a lot of hats. A hard hat is one. Problem solver is another. Whatever the job calls for, we're here for you. We're America's trusted source for industrial-grade products with the scale and resources to deliver and the knowledge to help answer tough product questions. Because we know that hats change, but having access to real people ready to help combined with fast delivery never goes out of style. Call, click Grainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What you doing?
Just buying a car on Carvana.
You are not.
Yeah, it's super convenient. I already got pre-qualified in 2 minutes.
Say what? That's fast.
Yeah, it is. Oh, look, I can customize my terms.
Say what? Custom down and monthly payments?
Yep. And just like that, my car is getting delivered in a couple days.
Say what? Delivered? Where we live?
Right here.
Right here.
Here.
Car shopping made unbelievably convenient. Finance and buy your car with Carvana today.
And welcome back to the NCAA Softball Regionals, presented by Capital One with Jenny Ritter. I am Roy Philpott here at Loves Field. OU, the #2 national seed, leading Cleveland State 1-0. Joined now by the head coach of the Sooners, year number 30, the Hall of Famer Patty Gasso. Coach, your analysis on what you've seen with Nicole May in the circle so far tonight?
Competitive. I think both pitchers are being very competitive. It's a battle down here, and I'd say Cleveland State is certainly not fearful of the Sooners, and they're playing a really good game. So this is a battle. There's good battling at bats, good competitive pitches. So it's good right now, tough.
Coach, as you enter this regional and you're going for your 4th national title, not obviously unfamiliar territory, what message did you deliver to your team as you started this postseason journey?
They've been there. They've done that. There's not a lot I can say anymore. I know what they want. I know how they fight for it. I know what our practices look like. So there's not much to say. It's just more about actions and doing.
Coach, best of luck rest of the way.
Guys.
Thank you. Patty Gasso joining us in search of her 4th straight national championship. What a career it has been. Interesting storyline potentially in tomorrow with her former assistant and former catcher here in Norman. Missy Lombardi, the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, leaving OU in 2018. We will have more on that potentially. That is the matchup tomorrow at 3 Eastern, 2 Central. Meanwhile, Cleveland State has played well and acclimated itself very well in this hostile environment. Holzapfel, a big cut, and she comes up empty against May. Jenny, I would say the one thing I learned about Coach Gasso yesterday, and you kind of heard it as she answered your question, her team and her players are used to her messaging, to her tone, to what she has to say with leadership and winning titles. She is not afraid to allow her staff and her team to do the coaching. And I think that is part of the secret to her success here. She's not a micromanager, and she gives plenty of people associated with this program, from psychologists to nutritionists to the architect that helped design this stadium, power and control over what they can do to enhance Oklahoma's chances of winning.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to draw it from a lot of different sources, and sometimes you have to say it in a lot of different ways. And this is a team that has done it before in a million different ways, but it doesn't mean it's been won the same way every time.
Holzapfel over to short. Jennings unable to get a clean throw. And an infield single. Cleveland State in business. Don't forget, here's this week's Sunday Night Baseball National League matchup. 3rd game of 4 between the Padres and the Braves. Fernando Tatis Jr. against Marcell Ozuna. He's with the Braves at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes. And of course, ESPN Radio coverage starts 6 Eastern. Baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. So here come the Vikings. Their 3rd hit here of the Norman Regional against OU. Becky Horosky. They have not appeared to be intimidated.
Well, I'll tell you one person on this team more than anybody that appears that way is Missy Holzapfel, who's gotten 2 hits and has pitched pretty strongly up until this point. But again, Cleveland State right now out hitting OU in this game.
Well, Holzapfel went the distance in that Horizon League Championship game victory against Northern Kentucky. I mean, this is a team that had its back against the wall late in the regular season. And Horizon League only is going to get 1 team in from its tournament to the field of 64. So There's something to be said about going through a tournament with that kind of pressure, having success. And you mentioned it, they have played with nothing to lose so far tonight.
Teams that play with nothing to lose can be very dangerous in a lot of ways. There's no fear.
5 strikeouts for May, make it 6, and the punch out of Horoski.
And credit to May, she has just been fantastic and resilient. When she gives up a hit, all 3 of them, she has bounced back. She has been solid by bouncing back. This another one, just a solid pitch in that zone. You could see the look on Horoski's face. She knew it the moment that pitch hit Hansen's glove. Second strikeout against Horoski.
Gilkerson, 1-1. .350 on the season for the sophomore from Strasburg, Ohio. Second team All-Horizon League this year. If you missed game 1, Oregon run ruled Boston University. 8-0 was the final in 5. Ducks await the winner of this game tonight. Gilkerson a mile high. And into shallow left field, an easy play for Pickering. 2 away. Real quick on Coach Gasso. Jenny, you just talk about the national championships. That's one thing. 30 years, about 14 50-plus win seasons. 2 years, they've won more than 60, including last season. Just that one loss that came pretty early. 71-game winning streak. And the impacts. All of these players for all of these decades. That was the one thing that we heard from Kirsten Deal and Ella Parker yesterday about Coach Gasso's approach to graduating players, preparing them for life after softball in the business world. And it's not just Coach Gasso, it's the entire staff and support staff here at OU.
Yeah, and about the ability that it's not just about what they do for the time they're at OU, it's about the women they become and the business women they become, the ability for them to grow as women beyond what they do in softball. And that was a lot of what helped them get to OU from a recruiting standpoint. That there's often so much more to these women on the field than just what happens in these 4 years.
I think we're finding out more about that in the NIL space that currently exists in collegiate athletics. And you talked to Coach Gasso this week, and she said, hey, it's nice that you look at the players and they're able to build a little bit of a nest egg before they leave as a result of these changes. And Nicole May now with 7 strikeouts. That ties her season high. Number 6, the Horizon League champions. What has this experience been like so far for you and this team?
You know, we've had a great 6 years. We've been rebuilding the program, and this team right here out on the field has been a dream. They play so well together. They're so connected, and the team chemistry is amazing. And they're the hardest workers I've had since I've been here as a whole.
Coach, tell us a little bit about Missy Hazoffel in the circle, and even at bat, she just looks absolutely fearless tonight.
She, you know what, it's all or nothing. We're out here, we're going to put everything we've got in it, and that's the way she's believing right now, and I'm loving it. It's anybody's game at the moment.
Coach, thank you. Best of luck rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
Helped build that program at Notre Dame in Ohio, and that moved from NAIA to Division II over the course of 11 seasons. Helped mentor 28 all-conference players along the way there, and Hazoffel, who she has mentored at Cleveland State, has not backed down from this OU attack so far. Cassidy Pickering responsible for the lone run of the night for either side. Solo shot back in the second inning. She climbs in, and it's 1-0. Off speed on the outside corner.
This is the hard part for Hizalfa. The last thing you want to do is start to get behind on batters. She's been so good at just kind of attacking the zone.
Into right field for a base hit. Pickering is 2 for 2. Don't forget, don't miss a minute of the action from the NCAA Softball Regionals. We'll take you to the best live action. The 7 innings live show on the ESPN app. You can see every game and every big moment on the road to the Women's College World Series, only right here on the ESPN networks.
A 3-0 count. Pickering not afraid to take her hacks, knowing that potentially that pitch, the best pitch that she's going to see. So often you see coaches give the take sign on a 3-0.
Hannah Core, the pinch runner now at first. And here's Alina Torres.
Here in the 4th inning, 1-0 game. That run, Core on first base, a run that matters. Oklahoma in an insurance run type situation still here.
See that score in Columbia, Missouri. Omaha has jumped out in front of the Tigers from the SEC 3-1. You just never know. Told you about Southeastern toppling Clemson down in the Tuscaloosa Regional. Congratulations in order for Alabama head coach Patrick Murphy. He now has won 1,300 games. Sacrifice back to the pitcher, Hizalfa. Will go 1-3, and advancing to second is Hannah Core. Here's Avery Hodge, 0 for 1 tonight. You can feel Oklahoma starting to apply a little bit more pressure, the aggressiveness up to bat. And this crowd waiting to erupt again. 2-0. Sooners without a knock with runners in scoring position so far. Hodge would love to change that. Bunted foul, that will even the count.
You know, the second batter here, take that sac bunt away. That's 2 batters here in this inning that Hizalfa has gotten behind on.
Back to the circle. Hizalfa looks the runner back to second, throws to first for out number 2. You want to talk about a heads-up play. Core quickly retreated back towards second base.
Yeah, this is well done heads-up play by Hizalfa. She takes a look. She knows and thinks about the runner at second, looks to make the throw, looks her back, and then makes the out at Hodge at first base.
Here's Riley Boone, lofted into left field. That'll get down for a hit. 2-0 Oklahoma.
Boone hitting early. First pitch swinging at a pitch in the zone. It's not fancy, but it drops in shallow outfield. The outfield playing way too deep to me on a Riley Boone. Should have played a little bit more shallow, as Gilkerson cannot track that down.
Jada Coleman fights off that pitch, and it gets down all the way to the wall. Boone comes home to score. Coleman slides in at third.
My, how the tides have changed quickly with this OU team. Too quick. First pitch swinging hits. This pitch well out of the zone. But Coleman gets her barrel enough on it to lift it. Gilkerson and Alba both diving, which means nobody to back up. Because of that, Boone scores easily, but Coleman all the way to third base.
Hard to believe, Jenny, her first triple of the season. It drives in Riley Boone. And those chants from the crowd in unison in support. They're starting right fielder Riley Boone. Loves Field has come to life once again.
You can feel that OU is just waiting to break it open. Now third time through the lineup here, 2 hitters. That first pitch swung a little bit more aggressive, which is really not OU's MO. But saw some success in doing it. Coleman, again, her pitch not in the strike zone.
Parker up the middle, a base hit, a run-scoring single. That makes it 4-0 Oklahoma.
Parker behind in the count, but just stays patient. This an off speed that just trails too far over the plate. Parker sees it in, drives it back up the middle. An RBI for Ella Parker. A little bit of excitement.
Think about her potential and what she could look like as a player, as a sophomore, as a junior.
Agreed.
And beyond. You mentioned that to me this week as we got ready for this Norman Regional. And like what we talked about with Ariel Carlson for Oregon back in game 1. All sounds different coming off of her bat. The difference between Carlson and Parker. Carlson, an upperclassman, a senior. Parker in her first year from Los Angeles.
Yep. And I think, too, you got somebody with the maturity that she has as a freshman. That doesn't break. You don't get in a sophomore slump. You just get better. And it could happen. She could get scouted. She could have an off year, but when you have somebody that mature that just focuses on her game plan of keeping it simple, that had to earn her spot into a solid lineup here at OU as a freshman, to me, for Ella Parker, I just don't see how she's going to let much in. Just stay the course.
Jennings stays the course rather here on this AB. Fighting off pitch after pitch, even out of the zone. Oklahoma now 4 of their 6 hits coming with 2 outs tonight. And the Sooners just come at you in waves.
You almost feel like when those runs plated, there was a deep breath moment for OU that they started hitting the ball. They barreled up a couple. They plated a few runs, and they had a moment to take a little bit of a breath and relax. Get into their element.
Popped up shallow right, tracking Mueller's stand. She'll reach up to make the grab, but 4 of OU's 6 hits in this game come in the 4th inning. 3 runs scored for the nation's second-ranked program in search of another national championship, and emotions are running high here at Loves Field on a Friday. Tonight's Capital One rewarding performance in the circle. Nicole May, a season high. She is tied her mark with 7 strikeouts.
And she's done it with different pitches. She's gone up in the zone. She's brought her drop ball into play. And she's used her changeup. And she's just been solid. She's gotten ahead in the count, and that's allowed her to really mix pitches and get the Vikings to swing and chase. And she's expanded the zone beautifully. And that's really what's made her effective. And she has been efficient and consistent.
We haven't seen her go much deeper in a game this season than 5 innings. But the efficiency that you just talked about, and you and I conversed about it during the break, only 63 tosses so far at a home plate. This may be a different story for her tonight, assuming that she's able to continue to pitch at a high level.
And credit to Cleveland State. I mean, they've gotten some hits off her, but she's scattered them. And to me, again, I've brought it up. She's found a way to get outs after she's scattered those hits.
Now a new season high with 8 strikeouts. Spellman is retired.
Great movement on this pitch. Curveball out of the zone. Add that to a different pitch that she's used to get a K. In Cleveland State, they have to be careful not to go and expand the zone and get out of their element. They've played their ball so far this game. They've been aggressive. They've swung a lot.
Over to second. Avery Hodge. An easy play. Our next WNBA games tomorrow. ABC, the place to be. Caitlin Clark and the Fever are in New York to take on Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, and the Liberty. That's up first at 1 Eastern. Then Asia Wilson and the Aces host Cameron Brink, Kia Jackson, and the Sparks. Coverage tips with WNBA Countdown, 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. Game number 3 for Caitlin Clark in a rematch against the Liberty. Frascone with 2 quick outs behind the count, 0-1. And now a final in Columbia. Omaha defeats the Tigers 3-1.
Upset alert.
Mentioned that Southeastern Louisiana Clemson score. Valerie Cagle, probably not the kind of year she had hoped for, dealing with injuries and concussions. That has been a bit of an issue. And in Tuscaloosa, what we thought could be an Alabama-Clemson matchup tomorrow will change. Southeastern Louisiana crashing the party. Frascone turned on that one quickly with home run pop, but sends it foul.
When quite possibly in that scenario, Southeastern Louisiana may be playing with a little bit of no fear. Like I said, you face a team that plays with no fear, they become very, very dangerous.
Was there a moment in Michigan that you remember where that could have happened, even in your run to the national championship?
I'm sure there was.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was. It was a long time ago, Roy.
I didn't say that. I wasn't thinking
I'll
that.
call myself out on that one. You remember the good times. Try not to remember those moments that you should have been more focused, maybe.
I think coaches are built the opposite way. They remember the losses and the setbacks, and they still sting like decades later.
I will tell you, I remember the freshman year setbacks.
9 strikeouts for Nicole May, a developing story in Norman, here at the Norman Regional. For softball, postseason style, the winner of this game gets Oregon tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern to local network yet to be determined. And what a scene potentially could be at Love's Field. Patty Gasso, the legendary Hall of Fame coach, welcomes back Missy Lombardi. Their first meeting ever against each other. The head coach at Oregon, part of the OU staff for 21 years. And talking to both coaches yesterday, it was Coach Gasso that indicated Coach Lombardi helped build this facility. Her fingerprints, her handprints, her ideas, her hard work, all of it, all over Love's Field. And it was quite a moment in talking with both coaches about what the expectation could be if they were to meet up? I don't know. We got some softball left to play here, but a collision course could be in the works between Oregon and Oklahoma tomorrow. Appointment TV, if so.
I always say that there's something about sports that brings moments together for a reason, and I feel like that might be it. You forgot to mention that Patty Gasso said all that with tears in her eyes, and it's quite a moment, like you said. Cool moment.
High and tight to Hansen. She was quite emotional in our conversation and talking about her feelings for Coach Lombardi, all that she meant to this OU program. And there are many other connections between these two teams that we certainly will talk about at length tomorrow. Served into right field. That'll drop for a base hit. Hansen aboard. And the danger zone has arrived for Cleveland State here in the bottom of the 5th.
Solid hit here by Hansen. This is the patience that OU has, waiting for their count, waiting for their pitch. Hansen just sends this oppo. Good solid piece of hitting, good barrel up, line drive. It's the right side of the field. You can see the looseness. Not the same kind of OU we saw in the first couple innings here.
Kinzie Hansen, a big Jean Paul fan, as many people are in this venue, including your trusted play-by-play broadcaster. A brief conversation between Patty Gasso and Alyssa Brito, and a pinch runner checks in for the Sooners, and Maya Bland. Now, part of the conversation tomorrow will be with this player that just climbed in the box. Brito, the Oregon transfer, first season in Eugene. She had played a lot of her high school softball with her now current teammates at OU, and that was part of the attraction, the transfer to Oklahoma after entering the portal. A 4-0 ball game upstairs.
We talked about the efficiency of May in the circle. 100 pitches here for Hosafel. Partially because she's been getting behind in the count. Great pitch
Runner
there.
goes. How about that strike down to second? And Hansen caught stealing for the first time this season, or checked at. It's the pinch runner. And Maya Bland quickly back to the dugout.
And you saw this huge swing from Brito because she was protecting the plate. Trying to protect for Bland. Despite the protection, not enough.
Brito to right field. Rascone for out number 2. Started out as the potential for a big frame for OU. Changes in a heartbeat. Now 102 pitches from Hosafel in the circle for Cleveland State. Jenny, the other obvious connection tomorrow will be Sydney Romero. Her first season, the Oregon staff after a year at Duke. 2 on Coach Gasso's staff here at Norman, a 2-time All-American and the former Big 12 Player of the Year at OU. Graduated as the program's leader in doubles here at Oklahoma, and now part of that Oregon staff. Cassidy Pickering checks back in as the OU hitter. So it's hard to imagine a program some 1,800 miles away having more ties to a national championship caliber program like Oklahoma than Oregon. And if you think that we've seen emotions this season here at Norman, and tonight starting this run to try to continue the dynasty, tomorrow it could be extra spicy.
There are definitely going to be some emotions outside of it. But I feel like you've got to give credit here to Cleveland State. Finding a way to get out of, like you said, leadoff hit here. potential to see this lineup third time through that was loose enough and relaxed enough that really felt like maybe this inning could have been something different. And all of a sudden, 2 quick outs.
Absolutely crushed to right center field, and it's gone. Second home run of the game for Cassidy Pickering.
And as quickly as you can give the Vikings credit for getting 2 quick outs, here comes Pickering. 3 for 3 today. 2 bombs, another hit in the middle. Just finding a way. You can see the moment she touched that.
There was a smile out of the box.
Was the smile in the box. That's exactly what I saw. She knew it, a no doubter. Feeling it today. When you know it, you know it. Cassidy Pickering having herself a day.
Quincy Lilio, the pinch hitter for Torres. 5-0 OU. Oregon shut out Boston University in our first game this afternoon. Oklahoma would love to jump on board that parade. Sophomore from Oceanside, California. To right field. And right at Frascone. Had it played perfectly. Cassidy Pickering hit a bomb in the second inning. How about another one? 3 for 3 tonight. 9 home runs on the year, and number 7 all smiles. Well, Oklahoma trying to accomplish, quite frankly, something that hasn't been done all that often. Talk about notable NCAA D1 four-peats. UCLA basketball under the late John Wooden, of course, did it all those years. USC baseball, 5 titles from 70 to 1974. North Dakota State, the Bison, the FCS ranks, 5 championships from 2011, 2015. Gino Auriemma, UConn. They really helped put women's basketball on the map with that dynastic run, one of several that they made in stores. Most recently, those 4 championships ending in 2016. Oklahoma would love to be a part of history. Another title this year, having won each of the last 3 national championships. Patty Gasso to the bullpen for the first time. And a new pitcher to tell you about in the circle, Carly Keeney, a senior from Providence, Kentucky. New second baseman, new catcher to tell you about in a minute as you see Keeney's numbers in her senior campaign, Jenny.
Yeah, Keeney comes in, has some good speed, spin. Her go-to is her screwball. Good speed. A little bit different than May, a little bit higher speed. And keep that ball low. Really look for this defense to get some ground balls here.
5-0 top of the 6th inning. Oklahoma's damage, the bulk of it coming late. 3 runs scored in the 4th, 1 more in the 5th moments ago after an early home run off the bat. Cassidy Pickering in the 2nd inning. Here we are at 5-0. Sun is set at Loves Field. This crowd has enjoyed every pitch, every hit, every AB. Respectful group as well. When you the job Cleveland State has done so far tonight. They have showed their appreciation in a variety of different ways in critical moments.
And I think if I'm Cleveland State, I'm sort of happy that Nicole May's out of the game in a lot of ways. Obviously, they have to adjust to Carly Keeney, but I think May was getting stronger as the game went on. And I don't think they were adjusting enough to her.
Caught crisply by the new catcher for the Sooners.
You saw that change up, the speed on that significantly slower. You saw how Alba had to kind of sit and reset. And look at the excitement from Nicole May. She saw Keeney pull the string on that changeup. Get Alba out.
Heads up play by Riley Ludlam, the new catcher. I think that last shot really what this month is all about. You see your teammates cheering you on and showing their respect, and that was one thing we heard unilaterally with this Oklahoma team yesterday. Play for each other. There's big personalities on this team, and at times this year it hasn't always been easy.
Well, it's hard when you want to win. If you want to win, you want to be out there. You want the ball. If you're a pitcher, Nicole May was phenomenal today. So it's hard to allow somebody to come in and take the ball from you, but the support is huge. Great drop ball here. Come in and get the K if you're Keeney. The drop ball is Keeney's bread and butter. She got it on both sides, can throw it both sides of the plate. You can see the movement on it on that one.
Olzhoffel, the hitter, batting third. A pitch in the dirt, 1-0. First team All-Horizon League performer, 2 for 2 tonight, a couple of singles. One of the leaders for this team. Great personality. Really feel like she could be the spokesperson for head coach Amy Kyler the years to come. Said, I got to keep the ball down in this start. She did it for the majority of the night. Oklahoma's retired 11 straight for Cleveland State. It's between May and Keeney.
Really, Roy, she kept it down for everybody but one batter, Pickering. A great pitching performance from Olzhoffel. Good eye there. And good hitting performance really too. 2 for 2. She's done everything she's needed to this game to be a leader, to show what she can do. Good eye right there on that pitch. Home crowd wanted that one.
Yes, they did. Tap to second. Hodge underhands it to first. And another 1-2-3 frame here at Loves Field. OU with a 5-0 lead. 30th, 12 Eastern, live on ESPN. More information on the 2024 Women's College World Series. Go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. About 30 miles due north of Norman. Beautiful city in downtown Oklahoma City. Thunder have some work to do to try to handle the Dallas Mavericks over in the NBA. The whole town buzzing about what went down in Game 5, I believe it was, Wednesday night. Jenny Ritter, Roy Philpott back at Loves Field here in Norman. Oregon awaits the winner of this matchup tonight. OU in position with a 5-0 lead. Bottom of the 6th inning. Avery Hodge will lead things off. Avery 0 for 2 tonight. Getting the start at second base. 288 now. Her sophomore season. 3 balls and a strike. And a leadoff walk. Hodge races down to first.
I feel like as this game goes on, you can almost feel that as awful as she's working and throwing more pitches, is kind of losing a little bit of her steam. Not a ton, but when you've got adrenaline flowing and you're playing the 3-time national champion, looking to four-peat, you've got to have a lot of adrenaline. And I kind of feel like she's losing that steam a little bit. Throwing more balls, you've got to be so on. You've really got to look to attack the zone here.
Riley Boone has been on. She has been energy near the bottom of Patty Gasso's batting order. This place really sparked with that single. Drove home a run back in the 4th. Slaps it foul. Into right center field. Riley Boone, second hit of the night. Racing around to second. Here comes the throw. It is cut off, and the Sooners with 2 in scoring position. And listen to this crowd.
She loves it. This crowd loves her. The speed that she has. She's able to leg this into a double, where for many it's just a single. But she just tags this pitch, drives it into the outfield, does not stop. You can see she kind of puts her rocket boosters on. She gets past first base. 2 in scoring position, like you said. 2 that matter here.
Top of the order, Jada Coleman. We had an 8-0 run rule victory for Oregon earlier tonight. Game 1 of this Norman Regional. On the outside corner. 1-2. Pitch number 123 from Holzapfel. Served it short and caught on a rope by DA.
And a good quick out. You don't have to make a throw. It strands the runners. Second and third does not allow them to advance.
And here's where you have to be careful. Ella Parker. Oregon awaits the winner of this game tonight. Tomorrow at 3 Eastern. Into left center field. Second hit for Parker. 2 runs will score. 7-0 Sooners.
And Parker, her last 2 at-bats, has just seen the ball so much better than her first 2. She just sees a way to drive it. Doesn't have to be in the air. Doesn't have to be a line drive. She's just looking to drive it somewhere up the middle.
Sooners starting to think about tomorrow night. Jennings thinking about it. There it goes. OU is awesome once again.
And OU does it in dramatic fashion. Tiara Jennings finds a pitch she likes, capitalizes.
9-0. 25th run rule victory of the season for Oklahoma. And what a start here in Norman at the Norman Regional.
Just can change the tone of this game so fast. Cleveland State in the moment and battling so much, so hard through most of this game. At one point or through half this game was out hitting OU, and all of a sudden they just found a way to kick it into high gear. This pitch over the heart of the plate. Jennings, full extension, sends it. A no-doubter, 2 on, didn't matter. Just needed 1 run to play to end this ball game.
Jenny, her 20th home run of the season, the 3rd long ball of the night for Oklahoma offensively. And the stage is now set. Tomorrow, 3 Eastern, 2 Central, as both teams gather around the circle here. The Oregon Ducks and the Oklahoma Sooners. And if you thought tonight was lit, tomorrow, former assistant coach coming back home after 21 seasons in Norman. Beautiful sunset tonight. We can tell you the Ducks and the Sooners, first meeting since back in 2018.